biggest risk you have is having your strength undermined and turned into a weakness, or a perceived weakness that people have about you and having that exploited in a more meaningful way. Those are two ways you kind of get your legs cut out from under you, whether you're in politics or whether you're a brand. I use this photograph. This is Muhammad Ali fighting George Foreman. So George Foreman was known as an incredible puncher. He had knocked out, over a 5-year span, 23 of the 24 opponents he faced. So his power, his punching, was his greatest strength. Ali, who was always as smart as a fox, he covered himself up for 7 rounds, just like that. You see his arms are there, right? He's clinching them. He's taking away Foreman's punching power as much as he can, not let him get into his head. 7 rounds, people thought, what's wrong with Ali? He hasn't thrown a punch. Foreman's just pounding on him, pounding on him, pounding on him. And what he had done is he had taken his strength and turned it into a weakness. And about 2 minutes into the 8th round, Ali knocked out George Foreman and got his heavyweight title back. He understood that he had to take away Foreman's strength, and he did it in the ring. And I think because this is about as competitive and competitive as you can get, probably even more than politics, as bad as we are. But I use that example to tell the story. In the Romney campaign, Romney was running as a businessman who could have done a better job than Obama because he was so good at it. We never went after Romney's wealth. We never did that. What we did is we took his business record, the practices he engaged in his private equity firm that were odious to people, right? Building up companies, sucking out their profits, piling them up with debt, putting them out of business, and you walk away with millions of dollars. And again, what Grisolano and I did for that one, we didn't want any conventional questions. We wanted to find a real meaningful metric to this so that when we went after Romney, we knew we were in the sweet spot. So we asked a 2-part question on every one of his business practices. We had about 12 of them. Forced choice question. This is the way most businesses conduct themselves, or this is the way some businesses conduct themselves, but it's absolutely wrong. And we wanted the words absolutely wrong in there because we wanted to push it to an extreme. And the second question was whether these behaviors affected people like you. And when we analyzed the data, and we'd never set up a construct like this before in this particular type of scenario, we wanted things that were both extremely high on being viewed as absolutely wrong, but top box on affecting people like them. Because if it didn't affect people like them, this complicated little business thing you're telling them about wouldn't resonate. So we wanted to make sure that they saw it as affecting people like them. And that's kind of the riff that we used on Romney all through the fall in our ads, showing some of those behaviors, including a guy who had built a platform for an announcement in an ad. Turned out the announcement wasn't about some big expansion they were doing. They were shutting down the company, and the guy said, we thought we were building a stage for a celebration. Turned out we were building our own coffins. And it was a pretty powerful ad, and that research helped us take away what Romney thought was his greatest strength.
Another client of ours is a regional wireless provider called C Spire. They're based in Mississippi. They're headquartered in Mississippi. They were actually family-owned for a long, long time in Mississippi. They pretty much only serve the Mississippi market. But they're a wireless provider. They're going up against AT&T and Verizon and Sprint and Mobile. And they were doing pretty well, but they can never sort of crack further. They can never break into AT&T or Verizon's share. So we started doing some work for them several years ago. And we were talking to their customers to understand, well, why were you using C Spire? Why weren't you using an AT&T or Verizon? And what we were sort of hearing over and over again was, well, they know us. I see their trucks everywhere. I could drive down the highway and I see their headquarter building. There was something intimate about the relationship that these customers had beyond just the wireless providing service. And we took AT&T and Verizon's biggest strength, which was their network, which was their nationwide coverage, their innovation, and we used that a little bit against them. Yeah, they may understand network. They may be able to service 96% of Americans. They may have the largest 4G network, but we work for you. We understand you, Mississippians. And we actually use their strength against them as a way to sort of crack into and tap into that emotional connection that people wanted to have with the companies that were providing their wireless service.